A popular summertime vegetable that's fairly easy to grow here in Oklahoma is the zucchini. Now, you can make lots of dishes and interesting things with zucchini, but I think my favorite is zucchini bread. Zucchini usually has few problems in the garden, but every once in a while, if we have a year where we don't have a lot of insect pollinators, the plants can actually suffer from deformed fruit. And that's what we've got right here. And this fruit did not get pollinated good enough. You can see that it started out with a good amount of pollen, and the fruit back here began to develop, but then as the plant tapers toward the end, there wasn't enough pollen transferred. So this one didn't make very well. Now, sometimes moisture stress can cause deformed fruit, but that's usually when you get a zucchini that's kind of an hourglass shape or kind of sunken in the middle. Well, like I said, usually you can have plenty of insect pollinators to do the job for you, but if not, you can do the job of the honeybees and bumblebees with a cotton swab and do some hand pollination. Now, one of the things you need to know before we do the pollination is that zucchini plants are monoecious, and that means that they have male flowers and female flowers on the same plant. And we have to distinguish these two, which is really not that hard. The male flowers, as you can see right here, are a little bit bigger, and they have a very long flower stem. So they're kind of up above the rest of the plant. And you can sometimes see a lot of the pollen down inside the flower. The female flowers, on the other hand, you can see right down here, have a very short flower stem. And you can see the ovary of the plant. And this is just a little undeveloped, unpollinated zucchini, just a little miniature zucchini that's just waiting to be pollinated and start growing. Now, one of the tricky things about pollinating these plants is that the female flowers are only open for one day. So you'll have to make frequent visits out to your garden and try to catch some of those female flowers open. Now, when you do find one open, you come out and take the cotton swab, locate a male flower, and kind of dab it around inside the male flower until we pick up a lot of pollen. We'll get some from this male flower over here until you have a lot of the pollen on the end of the cotton swab. Then we'll just go to our female flower, open up the petals, and then we're just going to dab that all around on the sticky surfaces. Now, this flower has actually already been pollinated, but I wanted to just open it up and kind of show you the idea. So we'll completely cover that with the pollen so it'll be well pollinated. Well, the zucchini belong to a group of plants called the cucurbits, and this is the same group as the cucumbers, watermelons, pumpkins, and gourds. And also squash are very closely related to the zucchini. And we've got a row of squash planted right beside our zucchini. And some people may be wondering, would there be a problem with cross-pollination? Well, actually, cross-pollination of squash and zucchini happens a lot, and everything's fine. The fruit looks the same and it tastes the same, and for all purposes, it is another zucchini. The only difference is the genetic code that is sent to the seed. So the seed of the next year's plants are going to be something a little different, like a squash zini or something like that. But most people go out and buy new zucchini seed every year, so it's not really a problem. If you wanted to save the seed, you would have to isolate it and not grow any squash near your plants. Well, since zucchini are in the same group with the squash and the pumpkins, they're susceptible to the infamous squash bug. And the squash bug, I've got one captured right here. It's really a large kind of grayish or black stink bug. In fact, the plants have the same foul odor as the stink bug when they get excited. And these bugs can do damage to the plants when they suck the juices out of the leaves and stems. And they're particularly damaging when they're present in large numbers. So the key to controlling the squash bugs is to get control of them early on. And you can do this by spraying the young bugs with something like thiodane or diazinon, or you can do like we do on a small stand, and that is just to collect the adults and destroy them, and also look for the eggs. And you look at this leaf right here, you can see a little cluster of the eggs, and when these hatch, they only take about 6 weeks until those squash bugs are laying eggs of their own. So you can imagine you can get a population buildup really quick. Now these are on the top of the leaf, but they're usually on the back side of the leaf, kind of like right here. So what we do, we collect the adults and destroy those, and then we just take our thumb and just kind of rub out those eggs. And in that way, we'll keep those populations down. So we'll have some nice, healthy zucchini. Well, when it comes to harvesting zucchini, you want to harvest the plants when they're about the fruit, when they're about 8 inches long. And I'm just going to cut this one right back here. You don't want the zucchini to get too large because then the seeds start to develop and the fruits can get kind of pulpy and seedy and not really taste good. But you want to leave about 1 inch of the stem on the fruit so it will have a longer storage life. Well, this particular one that we've been showing you all along here is a yellow zucchini. It's called Gold Rush. It was an All-America selection winner back in 1980 and still a really good zucchini for Oklahoma. Well, have fun doing the hand pollination and playing the part of the bumblebee. Keep squashing those squash bugs, and I hope you have a really good harvest of zucchini.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.